Today we're going to talk about why you are your worst enemy in a self-defense situation. I recently did some training with Bill Wolf, who has decades and decades of experience with hand-to-hand combat in the military and the police academy. And he said that the problem is people don't give themselves permission to cause serious bodily harm to someone else. Most of us, you and me, who live our daily lives without the intent to be nasty to other people, we go out of our way to prevent ourselves from causing damage to someone else. And the problem is, as many women who get raped report, that when you find yourself in that situation, when you got someone who really wants to screw you up and possibly even end your life, you're not able to make that leap mentally to really cause damage. And a lot of these rape survivors say, I was worried about hurting the guy. Which sounds bizarre. Why should you be worried about hurting someone who's trying to rape or kill you? But the problem is you've had years of this physical taboo. You can't allow yourself to do it. And then when it really matters, you're paralyzed by that. So how are you going to get around it? Because getting around it can be the difference between you being a victim and you walking out of that situation intact. Well, it starts in training, really, or even before that. It starts with you allowing yourself to think seriously about what it would be like to put your thumb through somebody's eye and gouge it out. To reach it around someone's windpipe and crush it. Because if you can't even get to that place in your own mind, there's no way you're going to get to it with your body when it matters. Part of this, though, has to do with your training as well. I mean, if you and your training partners are sitting here doing techniques super carefully, super slowly all the time, and if you end up, scratching them or bashing them with your elbow, it's, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If that's the way you train all the time, you're not even going to get close to the amount of aggression and violence that you're going to have to deploy to save your own life. Of course, we don't want to damage our training partners for life or give them very, very serious injuries, but there has to be a mutual permission between you and your training partners to get a little bit violent, to get a little bit aggressive. Yeah, you have to walk out sometimes with bruises, with lacerations, and with gashes. Because if you're not doing at least that much, there is no way that you're going to go from placing your hand on someone's throat to crushing a windpipe. It's just not going to happen. I was talking about rape survivors, but it's not just women who have this problem. I mean, there have been studies that have been done about the amount of desensitization it takes soldiers to overcome their natural inhibition to causing serious harm or death to another human being. It doesn't come naturally to most of us because we're not psychopaths. But you have to have a switch that you can turn on. And that requires desensitization. It requires going there mentally. It requires simulating it to some degree of reality physically to allow yourself to go down that path far enough to go all the way when it matters.